On radio, online and mobile. You're with SBS Radio. Good evening and welcome to SBS World News Radio. I'm Peggy Giacomellos.
And I'm Darren Mara. Coming up.
All persons who go to America under this agreement can only go once they've been vetted by the American security authorities.
Refugees in Australia's offshore detention centre yet to undergo US security assessments.
Also on the program,
we saw an outburst on Thursday and it had its desired impact on the news poll. It was exactly as predicted and as calculated.
Malcolm Turnbull accuses former Prime Minister Tony Abbott of deliberately damaging the coalition's performance in a new opinion poll.
And the winner of Best Foreign Film hits out at US immigration policy at the Oscars.
Those stories and more coming up in the next 30 minutes.
Good evening. With the news at 6 o'clock, I'm Darren Mara. The Prime Minister is accusing Labor leader Bill Shorten of double standards over his opposition to the Fair Work Commission's decision to reduce some Sunday and public holiday penalty rates. Mr Shorten today introduced a bill to Parliament aimed at preventing the cuts from going ahead. Malcolm Turnbull told Parliament in question time that Mr Shorten earlier said he would respect the Commission's ruling.
Asked by Neil Mitchell in April last year whether he would accept and support the decision of the independent umpire, he said, I'll accept them. He said, even if they reduce Sunday penalty rates, said Mitchell. Well, I said, I'd accept the independent tribunal, and that makes a big difference between us and the Liberals. Well, Mr Speaker, right, what we see here is an issue that underlines the lack of integrity, the lack of consistency, there's pure hypocrisy.
Well, Bill Shorten followed with this question.
In April of last year, the Prime Minister legislated to overturn the decision of the Road Safety Remuneration Tribunal, the independent umpire for safe rates in the trucking industry. And then in October of last year, the Prime Minister again legislated to preempt a decision of the Fair Work Commission in relation to the Country Fire Authority. So why is the Prime Minister now refusing to legislate to stop this pay cut to 700,000 Australians?
A Senate estimates hearing has heard officials from the US Department of Homeland Security are waiting for permission from the White House to begin security checks of resettlement candidates from Australia's offshore detention centres. Immigration Department Secretary Mike Bozzolo says they're ready to start screening refugees in Papua New Guinea and Nauru as agreed to under last year's deal. Mr Bozzolo says pre-screening is underway.
They are currently looking at their vetting thresholds. And so until that process has concluded, our colleagues in the Homeland Security Department are poised and ready, but they still need to await that authorisation to commence the vetting process.
The federal government is trying to dismiss reports a group of coalition MPs wanted to undermine the Prime Minister after last year's federal election. The Australian newspaper is reporting the group, calling itself the Deplorables, was working with Malcolm Turnbull's predecessor Tony Abbott. Speaking to Sky News, Defence Industries Minister Christopher Pyne said voters don't have time for distractions.
These distracting issues are so inside the Beltway. If you went down to the local supermarket in my electorate at Wattle Park or at Newton and asked them about this story to do with the so-called deplorables, they would look at you quizzically and wonder how on earth that was going to impact on their life.
Indonesian police say they've captured a suspect following an explosion in West Java. The man, shot by officers, is also accused of starting a fire in a government building near a park where the blast occurred. No one is believed to have been injured in the incident. At least 3 people are dead and several missing in flooding in central and northern Chile. That's according to the National Emergency Authority, which says 1 person was killed in a car swept away by floodwaters. Officials report 2 bodies were recovered from a river near the capital Santiago. Millions of people have been left without drinking water. The film Moonlight has won Best Picture at the 89th Academy Awards in Los Angeles. That's not before actors Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway mistakenly announced La La Land as the winner. A producer interrupted proceedings to set the record straight.
And the Academy Award for Best Picture.
You're impossible. Come on. La La Land.
There's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Moonlight won. Come on, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing.
Tragic. And now look at tomorrow's weather. Perth, sunny and 34. Adelaide, partly cloudy, 37. Melbourne, sunny and 32. Hobart, mostly sunny, 28. Canberra, partly cloudy, 28. Wollongong, rain and 24. Sydney, a shower and 26. Newcastle, similar conditions, 24. Brisbane, showers, a possible storm, 27. Cairns, a shower or two, 32. Darwin, a possible shower or a storm, and 33 degrees. And Peggy, more on those stories coming up on SBS World News at 6:30.
Thanks to Darren Mara there. And across Australia, you're listening to SBS World News Radio. It's